interest on the U.S. debt. This is the new reality. The United States can financially implode and cause a worldwide recession, perhaps even a depression. The United States by itself spends as much on military expenses as the next 13 largest military countries in the world combined. Stephen Max reports in Maclean's March 2nd, 2005, quote, "Between 2001 and 2004, the annual budget for the Pentagon and domestic security rose by $87.1 billion, an increase of 27.5% in 4 years," end quote. The cost of wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, coupled with a future that includes 77 million baby boomers reaching their unproductive years, high medical costs, and a commitment to lower taxes, makes Americans used to living on credit, a country headed for financial disaster. Credit card junkies. Americans represent 5% of the world population but consume 25% of the world's oil. Americans in a deep depression, unable to live in their accustomed lifestyle, could become a military superpower with an unstable government. I wrote that in May 2005 in a 2-page article, and nobody would print it. And they labeled me as somebody crying in the woods, like in the dark. And I told them that they were going to financially implode. It's very easy to predict that. You're in a dangerous situation today because the United States has used economic sanctions against many, many countries. You're in a situation now where the world other countries can use economic sanctions against the United States. You are in a situation where a lot of people don't understand how vulnerable the United States is to economic terrorism. I think it's very important for us to understand oil, big oil. I was in Iraq in 1998 at the invitation of the Saddam Hussein government. We went into Iraq when it was illegal for Americans to go into Iraq and find out for themselves what was happening in Iraq under economic sanctions. In December 2005, the United Nations found or concluded in a study that 567,000 Iraqi children had died in the first 5 years of economic sanctions. Over 500,000 children. We went in there with video cameras, broadcast camera TVs, to look at what the situation was. And about the 6th day I was there in my hotel room, I looked at the BBC station. Val Kilmer had just come in on a plane, and he was peering out his airplane, coming out the door and coming onto the tarmac. He had a plane load of medicines from caring Americans. And Val Kilmer was blacklisted for about 1.5 years after that, for daring to do something, for daring to even think for themselves. And this is why I really like to address you. I like to talking to you, because you as Americans, you're questioning, which is the greatest things that you can do. The politicians, what they do, they wrap themselves in an American flag, and they tell you, you have no right to question them. You have no right, because everything that you do dishonors the 4,000 soldiers that died in Iraq. Nothing could be further from the truth. Those 4,000 young people that died in Iraq, they died because of oil, and we're being told over and over and over again that the problem is outside of the United States. It's Saddam's fault. Well, he's dead now. They can't blame him anymore. Bin Laden, we're told to celebrate Bin Laden's death. Muammar Gaddafi, we're told to dance and to sing and to be happy that Muammar Gaddafi is now dead. But you're no closer. as Americans to being freed from the grip of big oil. Big oil is the one that dictates everything that goes on. The pipeline is from Canada. Canada is now sending 2.5 million barrels of oil per day to the United States. The United States purchases over 12 million barrels of oil, of foreign oil, every single day. So when you go to the gas stations and you put your gas in your tank and you hand over your money, do you know where your money is going to as Americans? This is why it's critically important. What we're doing here today is simply asking questions, demanding answers. As Americans, your responsibility is to ask questions of your government. It is not being disloyal. It is in fact being loyal Americans that you can question and demand answers from your government. And demand